And good morning, everybody. Hope we're all doing well. As per usual, welcome back to the show here at Esports Talk. We now have responses from both sides in response to the investigation, which did give out a punishment to Sinatraa just yesterday. If you guys missed that video, feel free to check it out. For the initial details of a 6-month suspension, any further investigation has now been deferred to the authorities, and to what Riot Games has said that apparently Sinatraa, in their investigation, did not comply, did not cooperate, made a couple of false statements, and did not provide them with a full audio and video clip, I would say the most condemning piece of evidence against him in the investigation. We now have a response from Sinatraa, even further response from his previous partner and the original accuser in this case, that being Cleo, which I'll read off for you guys today. And I must say, if you want to go back, and I encourage you guys to do so, go look at all the posts that both sides have made so far throughout this, and look at all the evidence or claims out there, and certainly still, there's so much missing, so much left to be explained, and a lot of confusion out there, especially after the most recent responses from both sides. So firstly, here's what Sinatraa had to say after being given his 6-month suspension just yesterday. As he said, I've spent the last 2 months reflecting on how I can be better as a person. I've been a pro player for basically all of my adult life and still have a lot to improve on. I've been reflecting a ton during the downtime and know how much I hurt Cleo emotionally, and I'm truly sorry about it. I will learn from my mistakes and keep on trying to improve myself as a person. Regarding Riot's investigation statement, I want to preface this by saying I do not have the video and audio that she used in her statement. After our relationship ended, she had asked me to delete the video, and I honored that. I'd never even imagined a situation like this, so when it all happened, I didn't know whether to just spill out my side or not. I had no clue what to do, so I sought legal help immediately. As we were drafting up an update with the legal PR team, we had added that I would provide the video because we genuinely thought that the video would have to be shared in full since it's a key part in the investigation. However, that did not happen, and I should not have promised something I could not personally deliver. This entire situation has been humbling and an opportunity for me to come out the other side a better person. And we're going to come back to that statement because that is one of the weirdest parts of his statement. It is the biggest part, to be honest, because he and his legal team thought that full video would be needed, so they threw in his original statement, oh, we'll provide that, even though knowing he did not have it. And then of course they say it actually did not end up needing to be had, which is odd on Riot Games' part for it not to be had, even though they said he did not provide it. Now Sinatra's coming back and saying it was not needed. So those are two conflicting statements there. But the fact that in his original post he said I will provide it, and then when Riot Games comes to the door he does not provide it, and then even further says he had already deleted it and still knowingly put it out there, that's odd. And he ends by saying, I now have an additional 4 months away from competitive play to spend time trying to develop a better set of interpersonal skills and to earn back the trust of this community. Again, I am truly sorry to everyone I let down or hurt. So you have Jay, who originally said he would provide that full audio and video clip that Cleo only posted so far publicly a short audio version of, which was very condemning. Jay comes out, says he'll give the full thing, he'll comply and cooperate with Riot Games. That apparently, according to Riot Games, did not happen. That full audio video clip was not provided. To what Jay says, oh, I deleted that. When me and my legal team thought it was needed, we just put it in my statement, even though knowingly I know I did not have it. And then it ended up not even needing to be had. Importantly so, Cleo has now responded to that part of it and then given additional response as well. And this is where it gets very confusing. As she says, I'll start by saying that I never once told him to delete the video. I did not care whatsoever if he kept it or not. I thought he still had it, and I told the Riot investigators that I welcomed him showing the video because in it you can see his fingers dig into me when I try and move away from him. He took the video and he sent it to me. It was just in our text thread because I never delete text. I would have shared the video if it had been requested of me, but it was not. I complied completely with the investigation to the extent that it was asked, which was honestly very little. So now you have Sinatraa saying he deleted this video as per her request. She said she never asked that of him. I would say more importantly, who has the full video and audio, because that is a very condemning piece. So you would think in the investigation, Sinatraa said he had it. He lied. He never had it in the first place. He also then said he deleted it as per request of Cleo. Cleo says, I never asked him to delete it, and she thought he had it. And she also said that when she was talking to Riot investigators, she would have given it to them and shared it with them if they had asked, but they did not. Did they only expect it of Sinatraa because in his original statement he said he would provide it and then he did not? Or did Riot Games just not go to Cleo and say, hey, do you have it? We'd like you to send that to us as well if you, because it seems based off her wording, she does still have it. And thus, if that's not being passed to Riot Games, I hope that's being passed to the investigators and the ongoing legal authorities who are still pursuing this case. Who has the full audio and video clip? There are a lot of holes in those statements. She continued, I personally don't care for his apology or his reflecting, and don't care for the fact that my posting about the abuse I faced at his hands humbled him. There's no apology that he can give me that will mean anything to me. If he had genuinely reflected, then he wouldn't be making jokes about coming back soon. If he was truly humbled, he would understand that making a statement about growing from this, when the this in question was emotionally and sexually abusing me, is completely inappropriate. I don't care if he has grown and become a better person through me detailing the way he abused me to the public, because the person he was when he was with me, whether he's grown or not, already did enough damage. So yes, he refused to comply with the investigation, was caught in multiple lies, and did not give a video that would not have proved his innocence. He gave an apology that I will never at any point in my life be accepting because it's entirely too late. The legal aspect will develop slowly and depends entirely on my emotional strength when it comes to dealing with law enforcement and detectives, which has so far been one of the most traumatizing things I've done in my life. This has been a very upsetting past few months, and while I'm very lucky to have a wonderful support system and I've learned to accept this new reality, it has still been hard. In posting the very first document, I truly just wanted people to see him the way that I saw him, and maybe a few people's opinions would be changed. I never imagined it would be this significant. Also, she touches on a very important point here. She says, I also deleted the second document with the additional claims because the screenshots weren't cropped correctly, and truthfully, I did post it out of anger that people were so excited to see him back playing. I won't apologize for being angry that so many people seemed they had just forgotten what he'd done, because I don't think that's an unreasonable thing to be upset about. I want to be able to move on from this and just exist like I always have in the past and talk about the Overwatch League with my friends without getting death threats and being called the W word. I hope people can understand that if he was truly innocent, he would have complied with the investigation like he said he was going to in the first place, but instead he lied to the investigators and refused to participate. That's all I'm going to say on this. Thanks for reading, and for those of you who have been kind to me over the past few months, I truly appreciate it. So clearly a lot happening on both sides here. A lot of questions for the Riot Games investigation. If they only expected Sinatraa on his side to provide the full audio and video, but if Cleo had it and she was clearly interacting with investigators, why was she not asked to provide that full video? It seems she has it. So will she be sharing that publicly or privately with the investigators or the authorities? I would hope so, if that can either clear her name, or if that does so somehow clear Sinatra's name, I think it still should be provided. That's a very important aspect, a lot of questions around it. I just really need to make note of how odd of a statement it is inside of Jay's post, to reword it for all of you guys, to really focus on how confusing this part of it is. I mean, to say that we had added that I would provide the video because we genuinely thought that the video would have to be shared in full since it's a key part of the investigation. However, that did not happen, and I should not have promised something I could not personally deliver. So whether or not you thought the video had to be shared in full, why are you making a statement saying you would give something that you never had? That to me is just not adding up. But I will say, in Cleo's response, it seems that she is willing to comply and she's willing to share it. So we'll see how that's done. I can only just hope that Riot Games was asking both sides, or, maybe, saying that either side, if you have this full video, can you share it? What do you guys think? Obviously a very complicated situation, very complex. There are still some things missing, but to me right now, it is very concerning that someone would say he would cooperate with Riot Games and he would provide something. He did not cooperate and never had that something to give them in the first place. To me, that is concerning. We'll see if there are future updates. As of right now, 4 months left on his suspension, and then he's, as of right now, given that there is no further updates from the authorities, he is able to return to pro play as well. What do you guys think? Enjoy the rest of your day. All right, until then, you take care of yourselves. Take a big old drink for me, and I'll catch you back here sometime soon.